Hey everyone, it's your girl Bena once again, today with another video. This very easy crochet beret. It's something that can be done in just a few hours. It's so beginner friendly, and if it's something you're interested in, please keep on watching, subscribe and turn your notification bells so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. So let's get started. So guys, this project is just so easy. You need any yarn of your choice. It's just a measurement based project, but you can get any yarn that recommends a 4mm hook, but you'll need at least 2 balls of a medium weight yarn. That's all I can say, plus a 4mm hook, a pair of scissors, just 1 stitch marker and a measuring tape. That's it, and plus a darning needle that I did not carry here, but that's it for the materials. So let's get started. So to begin, you're going to start off by making a magic ring, and just observe how I do mine. I just wrap my yarn across my 2 fingers like this to make some form of X, and then pull my hook under and then on top, and then I fasten this off by just making a very firm chain one like that. So you're going to make one more chain and then draw in this slope a little, and then you're going to make 8 half double crochets into that magic ring. Make a total of 8 half double crochets. So when you're done, you're just going to pull on that strand to close up the ring like that. After making the 8 half double crochets, you're going to close up the ring, and then you're going to go on top of the very first half double crochet and directly make another half double crochet on top of it like that, and then pull through, and then you're going to use your stitch marker to mark this very first half double crochet that you made. Okay, and then you're going to go back into that very same stitch with another half double crochet. So you should have a total of 2 half double crochets at this point in that very first stitch, and then you're going to make 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, 2 into the next, 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, also 2 half double crochets. So for this round, this second round of the hat, we're going to just be making 2 half double crochets into each and every stitch. I'm at the last one, and I'm going to also make 2 half double crochets into it, the last stitch before the stitch marker. And this is what you should be having. You should be with a total of 16 half double crochets in total by the time you're done. And now we are going to once again remove that stitch marker and place 1 half double crochet into that stitch where it was. Just make 1 half double crochet in the stitch that had the stitch marker. Then you're going to replace the stitch marker to mark it as your very first stitch, and for the second stitch we are now going to make an increase, that is 2 half double crochets into that next stitch. Next stitch you're going to make 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets into the next, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, then 2 half double crochets into the next. So that's the pattern repeat for the third round. Is 1 half double crochet, then an increase, 1 half double crochet, then an increase. Right, I'm at the last stitch, and you should make sure that your last stitch gets an increase. The stitch before the stitch marker should always be an increase stitch. So that's it for the third round. And once again, you're going to remove the stitch marker and place 1/2 double crochet where that stitch marker was, and make sure that you replace the stitch marker once again. Into the next stitch, you're going to make 1/2 double crochet. Those are 2 half double crochets. Then you're going to make an increase into the next stitch. Half double crochet, 1/2 double crochet, followed by an increase into the next stitch. One, two, and an increase. And this is the repeat for this round is 2 half double crochets and increase. Now fourth round, 2 half double crochets, then an increase, 2 half double crochets, then an increase. So keep going, and I'll meet you back when you're at the last stitch before the stitch marker, which should be an increase. So I'm done, and I went around with the pattern, and you can see I ended with an increase before the stitch marker. So I remove the stitch marker and place 1/2 double crochet where the stitch marker was. Thereafter, replace the stitch marker. And now you're going to make 2 more half double crochets for a total of 3 this time before we increase. Then we're going to make an increase after the 3 half double crochets. Make 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and make an increase. Three half double crochets, and an increase. I believe by now you've gotten the repeat for this round is 3 half double crochets followed by an increase, 3 half double crochets followed by an increase. So we're going to keep going. This is our 5th round. 3 half double crochets, 2 half double crochets, 3 half doubles, and an increase. Sorry, making sure you end with an increase before the stitch marker. Okay, and I'll meet you back afterwards. So I'm done with round 5, and you can see how it's looking like. The heart is starting to build up. So remove the stitch marker once again and place a half double crochet where that stitch marker was and replace it. So that's the first half double crochet for this round. So you're going to make another half double crochet, a third, then a 4th. So those are 4. And you're going to make an increase now to the next stitch. 1 and 2 half double crochets into that same stitch. I'm going to make 4 half double crochets. Double crochets, then an increase into the next stitch. One, two, stitch is going to get an increase. And that is the pattern repeat for this round. 4 half double crochets, then an increase. 4 half double crochets, then an increase. Keep going like that, and I'll let you done towards the last stitch before the stitch marker. So I'm done, and this is it for the 6th round of our heart. Okay, so I believe by now you understood how we are building this. We're just increasing the numbers. This starts 1 heart 4, then an increase. Okay, we've just been increasing 4, so next round is going to get 5. Okay, next we'll get 6, like that, then 5 before an increase, 6 before an increase, 7 before an increase. Just keep on increasing the numbers that you work around before you make an increase. I hope that makes sense. Okay, you're going to keep on going in this manner until the top of the heart measures about 10 inches in diameter. This is if you want something that's really full and round, and I believe the wider it is, the more beautiful, but anywhere between 9 to 10 inches is fine for the top of our heart. So right now I'm just on 4, and I want to work until I have 10 inches for the diameter. This is the top of the heart, so you're going to keep on working the rest of the rounds on your own till you get the diameter you want. And I said between 9 to 10 is just perfect. So keep on working that same pattern repeat, increasing the stitches every after each round, and also don't lose that stitch marker. Make sure you always replace it before starting the next round, and I'll meet you back after. So I'm done, and I've worked till I've gotten to around 10.5 inches. Yeah, my work stretched a little bit to 10.5, but that's perfectly fine. Yeah, between 9 to 10 is just perfect enough. Okay, so you should also be having something like this for the top of your heart. Okay, these are a total of around 16, I think. I made 16 rounds of these. Yeah, so that's what I had for the top of the heart. And now it's time for us to start working on the lower details. So from where you ended, you're just going to grab your hook, and you're going to work into that very first stitch. First stitch marker, and go into that very first stitch, but only in the front loop of it. So that very first loop you're looking at is the one that we are going to be working in. So go into it with a half double crochet, then replace the stitch marker to mark it as your first stitch, then make a front loop, half double crochet into the next stitch, only in the front loop. Into the next stitch, do the same thing, working only in the front loop, that very first loop that you look at when you see the stitch. Okay, one front, one half double crochet into the front loop only, and this is what we are going to repeat for this round, because this basically helps us to create a downward effect now for the heart. Since now it's going to lay on the head, we want it to come down, so we're going to repeat this all the way around. Continue all the way around, and I'll meet you back in the last stitch before the stitch marker. Okay, making sure you only work in the front loops, those front loops only. So I'm done with the half double crochets all the way around, only in the front loop, and I'm at that point where we have the stitch marker, so I'll remove the stitch marker, and this time I'll work into both loops of the stitch with 1/2 double crochet, not in the front loop this time, but into, you just work a normal 1/2 double crochet this time, and then replace the stitch marker into that very first stitch. And now we are just going to be making normal 1/2 double crochets into every stitch, this time not in the front loop, but just the basic 1/2 double crochet that we are used to, just one into each and every stitch. Just make 1/2 double crochet into every stitch. Go all the way around, and no increases, no front loops, just normal 1/2 double crochet, and I'll meet you back when you're near the stitch marker once again. So I went all the way around, and I'm back to the point where the stitch marker is. Okay, and you're going to remove the stitch marker and make 1/2 double crochet where that stitch marker was, and then replace the stitch marker into that same point. And now you're going to make 2 more 1/2 double crochets, 2 normal 1/2 double crochets for a total of 3 1/2 doubles. And then we are now going to make a decrease into the next 2 stitches. So pull through a normal 1/2 double crochet, then pull through 2 only, and over into the next, pull through, you have 4, pull through 2, you have 3, then pull through all the 3. So we've made a decrease into the next 2 stitches after the 3 1/2 doubles, and we're going to repeat the same thing. Make 3 1/2 double crochets, 1 2, and then 3. Then we're going to make 2 1/2 double crochets together. Just observe how I do it. That is how we make the 1/2 double crochet, 2 together. Then 3 1/2 double crochets, 1 2 and 3, and 2 1/2 double crochets together. Pull through 2, and over, pull through 3, have 3, pull through all. So this round is basically a round of decrease, whereby we are making 3 1/2 doubles, and then we are decreasing to the next 2 stitches. So you're going to go all the way around, repeating the same motion. Making a decrease every after 3 1/2 double crochets. 3 1/2 double crochets, decrease all the way around till you get back to the stitch before the stitch marker, and I'll meet you after that. A few stitches before that, let's meet. So I just wanted to show you how many stitches I had before the stitch marker. Mine are just perfectly 3, but if you have more than this, just decrease accordingly till you get to the stitch marker. Still have some decreases, but mine were just 3, so I just went ahead and just made normal 3 1/2 double crochets. And I want to show you what that round has now created. We are now making our heart go inwards because it's time for it to now sit on our head. Okay, so that's why you're seeing this decrease round makes it go inwards so that it can accommodate the top of our head and sit perfectly. So that is why we are making these decrease rounds. Okay, so for the next round we are still going to be decreasing. So remove the stitch marker, and then you're going to make a 1/2 double crochet to that stitch where the stitch marker was, and replace the stitch marker. That's 1 1/2 double crochet. You're going to make another 1/2 double crochet for a total of 2 1/2 doubles, and then we are going to decrease to the next 2, make a 1/2 double crochet decrease of 2 stitches. Then 2 half double crochets this time, not 3. 1, then 2, and then two half double crochets together. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, drag a loop, pull through 2, you have 3, pull through all. So this time we are making 2 half double crochets in a decrease. And another thing I forgot to mention is that you have to be extra careful when doing this round, because some of the stitches from down below have already been decreased, so you have to be cautious which stitches appear as one, which ones are appearing as individual stitches. Okay, so you have to monitor the stitches below accurately, because some of them are decreased stitches. Okay, now like this is a decreased stitch, as you see. So 2 half double crochets, and decrease. So you can see that stitch is already decreased from below. Okay, those are not 2 stitches, that is 1 stitch. Just monitor the stitches properly to know which ones are decreased, which ones are not decreased. I hope that makes sense. Otherwise, that is the pattern repeat for the second round of the decreases. Just making a decrease every after 2 half double crochets. So I'm going to keep going all the way around. 2 half double crochets, decrease, 2 half double crochet, decrease, and I'll meet you back to show you what we shall be doing after this round. Alright guys, actually I ran out of this shade of yarn and I had to connect a darker shade of grey, because it's all I had left that could sort of match in well, but it's okay because we are going to the ribbing, so it can work as a design of some sort. Okay, so I'm left with my last round was a decrease. Okay, but I don't have enough to make another decrease, so I'm just going to go in with another half double crochet like that. So I have I ended with 2 half double crochets for my last 2 stitches. Okay, it doesn't matter how you end, honestly, just make sure you follow the pattern. You remove the stitch marker this time and just make a slip stitch where the stitch marker was, because we don't need it anymore at this point. We are going to start making the ribbing detail of the heart. So you're going to chain 2 from where you had removed the stitch marker, and now we are going to make the front post half double crochet into the very first stitch. Let's observe how I'm doing it. That is a front post half double crochet. The next stitch is going to get a back post half double crochet like that. The next stitch is 1 stitch. Since we are decreased it, that is 1 stitch, so it is going to get a front post. So I'm going to push through all those stitches and get a front post and a back post half double crochet like that. Guys, I had forgotten there's something I did not show you before we go to the ribbing. After that last decrease round where we made 2 half double crochet decrease, your heart should be measuring 7 inches. That is the normal diameter for an adult's head. Okay, between 6.5 to 7, but 7 is the perfect one. But if you're not yet at 7, then you're going to make another decrease round, but this time you make 1 half double crochet then a decrease, but your second round should dig it to 7 inches. If not, make another decrease round. Okay, so now let's get back to the ribbing detail. Sorry, I had forgotten that part. Okay, so now I ended with a back post over here, back post half double. The next is going to be a front post half double crochet, so just go ahead, push that stitch in front, and then make a front post half double crochet in the back post half double crochet stitch. So you have to be careful. This was 1 stitch and I had already started going into it individually, so make sure you're cautious of the stitches that have been decreased. and make one stitch. So just keep alternating between the front post half double crochet and the back post half double crochet. The next stitch was combined, so I'm going to push through both those loops to get my front post. And this is what you're going to keep on repeating, alternating between the front post and back post half double crochet stitches all the way around till you get back to where we started off with a chain of 2 in our very first stitch. Okay, keep on working the first row of the ribbing, and also be careful with those stitches like I said, so that you're able to get the pattern accurately, so that it flows accurately. I will meet you back at that point where we had that chain 2 at the beginning. Chain to the middle of it is where we are going to make our slip stitch. So you can also go ahead and put a stitch marker there. If you're not seeing it properly, you can just place the stitch marker for clarity to see that this is where the row started from. So I'm done, and I'm back to the chain 2 where we started from. In the middle of that chain 2 on the front post, I'll make a slip stitch. You're going to chain up 2, and this next round is going to be easy. We're just going to place a front post half double where there's a front post half double, and then a back post half double where there's a back post half double. Since we already established the pattern, there is no need to be cautious of the stitches below anymore. You're just going to put a front post where there's a front post and a back post where there's a back post. Post half double, I'll put a front post half double, the next is a back post half double, I'll place a half post back post half double. Just alternate now normally, which I believe is very simple at this point. As you can see, the effect the heart is now taking, it's going inwards, and it's also getting that ribbing that is going to hold it firmly at the top of our head. Okay? So we're going to repeat this last row that I've just shown you. You get the thickness of the band that you want for your heart. Okay, you're going to do as many rows as you want for the thickness of the band, but for me, I want a band that measures 1.5 inches in thickness. Yours can be 2 or 2.5, whichever you decide. Just keep on repeating that round till you get to your desired thickness, alternating the front post half double and the back post. And when you're done you go into the middle of that front post and the chain 2 and make a slip stitch, and keep on going, repeating the same pattern all the way around till you get the thickness of the band that you want. Okay guys, I'm done, and I got the thickness of the band I wanted, and this is what my heart looks like. You should also be having something like this. So I made a slip stitch in between the front post and the chain 2, and you can see there are only 2 ends to weave in at this point, but our heart is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Just get your darning needle and weave in all those ends, and that's it. Hope you guys loved it. I'll see you in another video. Bye for now and take care.